proof that our thoughts create reality has been proven by experiments. Our emotions, feelings and actions are based off of our thoughts. If you are thinking something negative in the moment, you are more likely to react in a negative manner and feel negative emotions, and vice versa. This shows how our thoughts and emotions, which is a part of what makes us who we are, have much control of our daily actions. There is a famous quote that states, if you are unhappy with a certain experience in your life, you can choose to steer your focus towards something else that is aligned with your own positive expectation. Quantum physics has shown that subatomic particles appear to exist only as a wave of probabilities until they are observed. In other words, there is no reality until that reality is perceived. This explains that we alter every object and experience in our world simply by paying attention to it. A perfect example that proves that our thoughts and words can create our reality are the experiments that were conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto. Dr. Emoto is a Japanese researcher and pioneer whose main goal was to prove that our thoughts, words and intentions create reality. He was able to successfully prove his point in 1994 when he conducted an experiment with water. Emoto studied the differences in the crystals of frozen tap water, river water, and did not see any differences between each of them. However, he did notice that the water crystals from pristine lakes and streams created very beautiful crystals and that each had a unique appearance. Emoto grouped water jars where the first jar was being told positive statements such as, "I love you." The second jar consisted of him speaking negative towards the water, phrases such as, "idiot" and "I hate you." His final results were astonishing. The jar he spoke positively to, the water created beautiful water crystals. The jar with the water he spoke negatively to had deformed and ugly water crystals. This experiment shows that if speaking negatively towards water creates deformed water crystals, imagine what it can do to our bodies, since we are 70% of water. Although many people do not believe it, negative beliefs, thoughts and self-talk do have a physical and mental effect on our bodies. A simple experiment that you can do at home to see proof that our thoughts and words can create reality is called the rice experiment. This experiment consists of obtaining 3 jars where you will place the equal amount of rice into each jar followed by the same amount of water from the same source. You will then label the first jar, love, the second jar will be labeled, hate, and lastly the third jar will be labeled, ignore. Once a day for a series of several days, you will state phrases according to the labels on the jars. For instance, you may say, "I love you," and "I appreciate you" to the love jar. You may say, "I hate you," and "You are worthless" to the hate jar, and simply leave the ignore jar alone. The results you will see within the jars at the end of this mini experiment will surprise you. The first jar that you labeled as love will appear as if it has begun to ferment with a beautiful white color. The hate jar will appear as if it is rotting. And lastly, the ignore jar will appear black in color. You will have learned at the end of this experiment and with the water crystal experiment conducted by Dr. Emoto, that water actually understood what was being said to it and changed its molecular structure based upon the human vibrational energies from the thoughts and words. There is no doubt that thoughts do become things, and if you can see it in your mind you will hold it in your hand. This is a powerful concept because this ties in with the idea of how our thoughts and words become our reality. By seeing the results of these experiments, we are left with the idea of how powerful our words and thoughts are and what they can do to us on a daily basis. It is extremely important to be careful with what we say and think. If we can positively change the way we speak and think of things, then the things we look and speak about will change also.